triple sonic.
Sorry about that, darling.
Also, the showing off.
Lethbridge Stewart.
You're about to murder millions of people.
To save billions. How many times have you made that calculation?
Once. Turned me into the man I am now. I'm not even sure who that is anymore.
You tell yourself it's justified, but it's a lie. Because what I did that day was wrong. Just wrong.
And because I got it wrong, I'm going to make you get it right. Any second now, you're going to stop that countdown.
Both of you together.
And then you're going to negotiate the most perfect treaty of all time.
Safeguards all round, completely fair on both sides.
And the key to perfect negotiation.
Not knowing what side you're on.
So, for the next few hours,
These
till we decide to
two.
let you out,
No one in this room will be able to remember if they're human or Zygon.
what's the name?
The thing. Who am I?
Peace in our time.
Susan.
We haven't really met yet.
I look forward to it.
So weird.
He's always talking about the day he did it. The day he wiped out the Time Lords to stop the war.
One would.
You wouldn't, because you haven't done it yet. It's still in your future.
You're very sure of yourself.
He regrets it. I see it in his eyes every day. He'd do anything to change it.
How did you know?
Your eyes. You're so much younger.
Then, all things considered, it's time I grew up. I've seen all I needed. The moment has come. I'm ready.
I know you are. Who's there? Who are you talking to?
Oh. But if that decision is changed. Oh. If only there were a big red button.
Oh, you wanted a big red button. One big bang. Are you sure?
There is no other way.
You've seen the men you will become.
Extraordinary.
They were you.
No. They are the Doctor.
You're the Doctor too.
No. Great men are forged in fire. It is the privilege of lesser men to light the flame,
Wow.
whatever the cost.
But if you change it, if you change the future.
You know the sound the TARDIS makes? That wheezing, groaning. That sound brings hope wherever it goes.
Yes. Yes, I like to think it does.
To anyone who hears it, Doctor. However lost,
Including you.
even you.
How? What?
I told you he hasn't done it yet.
Go away now, all of you. This is for me.
Wouldn't that be cataclysmic, though? If
These
it...
events should be time locked. We shouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
Something let us through.
You clever boys.
Go back. Go and be the Doctor that I could never be.
All those years burying you in my memory. Pretending you didn't exist. Keeping you a secret even from myself. You were the Doctor on the day it wasn't possible to get it right. But this time, you don't have to do it alone.
Thank you.
What?
You told me you wiped out your own people. I never pictured you doing it, that's all.
Oh.
Nothing.
These are the people you're gonna burn.
Right. There isn't another way. There never was.
Look at you. The three of you. The warrior, the hero. And you.
And what am I?
Have you really forgotten?
Yes. Maybe, yes. Then what do I do?
What you've always done. Be a doctor.
Never cruel or cowardly.
Never give up. Never give in.
You're not actually suggesting that we change our own personal history.
We change history all the time. I'm suggesting something far worse.
Exactly.
Gentlemen, I have had 400 years to think about this. I changed my mind.
But how, Boo?
Still a billion Daleks up there attacking.
This time there's 3 of us.
Oh! Oh! Yes, that is good. That is brilliant. Oh! I'm getting that too. That is brilliant.
I've been thinking about it for centuries.
She didn't just show me any old future. She told me exactly the future I needed to see.
Who did?
That wolf girl, I could kiss you.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Sorry, did you just say bad wolf?
So what are we doing? What's the...
The Dalek fleets are surrounding Gallifrey.
What if the whole planet just disappeared?
Tiny bit of an ask.
The Daleks would be firing on each other. They'd destroy themselves in their own crossfire.
Gallifrey would be gone, the Daleks would be destroyed, and it would look to the rest of the universe as if they'd annihilated each other.
But where would Gallifrey be?
Frozen. Frozen in an instant of time. Safe and hidden away.
Exactly. Like a painting.
I thought they were talking about the end of time. Timothy Dalton.
The messages from him.
What's the mad fool talking about?
I guess he's saving your butts.
High Command. This is the Doctor speaking.
Hello, also the Doctor. Can you hear me?
Also the Doctor. Standing ready.
Dear God, 3 of them. All of my worst nightmares at once.
General, we have a plan.
We're going to freeze Gallifrey in a single moment in time.
You know, like those stasis cubes.
Except we're going to do it to a whole planet.
And all the people on it.
What? It's delusional. The calculations alone would take hundreds of years.
Oh, hundreds and hundreds, but don't worry.
I started a very long time ago.
This is the Doctor.
You might say I've been doing this all my lives.
Really?
Have I?
Ready. Commencing calculations. What's the boundaries to the light one universe? Log onto his coordinates.
And for my next trick, I didn't know when I was well off. All 12 of them. No, sir. All 13.
Woo! Oh! Oh, what? Dr. 13? 12?
Do it, Doctor.
What?
Do it. Gentlemen, we're ready.
Woo! Hello.
What is it actually called?
Either No More or Gallifrey Falls.
Not very encouraging.
How did it get here?
Look at the 3 TARDISes.
No idea.
Well, gentlemen, it has been an honor.
Likewise.
Doctor.
I won't remember this, will I?
The time streams are out of sync. You can't retain it. No.
So I won't remember that I tried to save Gallifrey rather than burn it. But for now, for this moment, I am the Doctor again. Thank you. Which one is mine? Of course, suppose it makes sense. I hope the ears are a bit less conspicuous this time.
Wait, we're getting the regeneration? From him?
I won't remember either, so you might as well tell me where it is we're going that you don't want to talk about.
I saw Trenzalore, where we're buried. We die in battle among millions.
That's not how it's supposed to be.
That's how the story ends. Nothing we can do about it. Trenzalore is where you're going.
Good to know my future is in safe hands. Keep a tight hold on it, Clara. Trenzalore. We need a new destination because I don't want to go.
Stop.
He always says that.
Yes, he does.
Oh, by the way, there was an old man looking for you. I think it was the curator.
An old man looking for you.
I could be a curator. I'd be great at curating. I'd be the great curator. I could retire and do that.
You know, I really think you might.
I never forget a face.
I know you don't.
No!
And in years to come,
Wait.
you'll find yourself revisiting a few, but just the old favorites.
You were curious about this painting, I think. I acquired it in remarkable circumstances.
Background.
What do you make of the title?
Which title this to?
It's all one title. Gallifrey Falls No More.
Oh.
What would you think that means?
You were successful.
The Gallifrey didn't fall. It's still out there.
I'm only a humble curator, I'm sure I wouldn't doubt.
Then where is it?
Where is it indeed? Lost. Shh.
Things do get lost, you know. You have a lot to do.
Do I? Is that what I'm supposed to do now? Go looking for Gallifrey?
It's entirely up to you. Your choice. If I were you... Oh, if I were you...
Oh, perhaps I was you, of course.
No.
Perhaps. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Or perhaps it doesn't matter either way. Who knows?
I dream about where I'm going, but you're not going anywhere. You're just wandering about. That's not true. Not anymore. There are many
Go home?
lifetimes, but at last I know where I'm going, where I've always been going. Home. The long way round.
Hey, everybody. All of the Doctor. All right, guys, that was the day of the Doctor. At last. There's a lot going on, which I always say that about not just a Moffat finale. I know this isn't really the finale. There's one more. But towards the end of a series, Doctor Who normally steps on the gas pedal. And this was true, I think, of RTD as well. Because to me, the finales were always just like packed with stuff. So I'm going to put all the stuff, plot, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey things to the side. And just say, for now, I really loved the interaction of 10 and 11. and yes, of 8. It would be 8.5, I guess. John Hurt, the warrior doctor. The War Doctor. But in particular, 10 and 11. It would have been cool, I think, if Christopher Eccleston, if 9 had been available to pop in. Some comments seem to imply that there was bad blood. I don't know if that is the case. I don't know if Christopher Eccleston would have not come back or if they would not have had him back. I have no idea. But that might have been cool. But I really did love the interaction of the two. I don't know how any of that didn't like implode the universe spontaneously. Like, I remember it being a really big deal when there were two Amy's and all of that. Like, the TARDIS was not having any of that. Maybe because they are Time Lords, they get a pass. I have no idea how they were all able to coexist in the same time in the same place. At least later on, they had their own TARDISes. Whatever rule or clause allowed them to exist in the same space and time. It was worth it because it was so enjoyable to see their interaction. Comparing the sonic screwdrivers and with the bit with the glasses when they noticed each other's glasses, and they were like, oh, duh. The little details between the two of them was just really enjoyable. It was so much fun. I do wish that I had not known David Tennant was going to be in it. As I said in the beginning, I'll tell you how it happened. If you don't want to hear this little story, I will put a timestamp or something. I am watching these on Amazon Prime, and back in the David Tennant era, they packaged them like it was the Christmas special, and then the series, and then they would go the next Christmas special, and then the series. For the last series that David Tennant was in, Series 4, they did that. They started out Christmas special, Series 4, and then after that, the next Doctor, which is the Christmas special, but it's also like the next special. I don't know. It's so confusing. It was still within that block. And I thought, oh, okay, well, all the specials are going to follow these next 3 or 4, however many there were of them. I can't remember right now. And so it played the next Doctor. Fine. And when I went back to record the next special, Amazon sent me off into some other grouping where I saw the header of that grouping was David Tennant with Matt Smith. So what I thought was going to happen was that one of the specials was going to be this funky regeneration where there was crossover between the two of them. And then when that didn't happen, I was like, okay, so I don't know what Amazon Prime showed me. I don't know when this happens. I don't know how it happens. I don't know the context. I don't know how long I have to wait for it. I just knew that at some point it was going to happen. So there was just a little bit of a spoiler. Just that it was going to happen. Put it out of my head. Months later, someone on Twitter sent me a message just warning me, they knew that I was ahead on Patreon, and they just said, listen, when you get to the Day of the Doctor, don't look at the credits. It's a huge spoiler. And I was not even thinking of that photo. So I said, great, thank you. I appreciate it when people try and keep me spoiler free. And then at some point later in the week, my brain went, ew, they probably mean that. And I went, okay. I still didn't know for sure, though. So we have Amazon Prime with one little breadcrumb, Twitter with another little breadcrumb. And I was like, I'm not going to think about it. I don't watch any Doctor Who reactions on YouTube because I don't want YouTube suggesting any videos to me. I already get suggestions for Doctor Who videos just because I upload Doctor Who videos. So I don't want to encourage the stupid algorithm any more than it already is encouraged. And not long after that last little hint, something popped up, and the reactor had used a thumbnail of the two of them together. Personally, I make an attempt to not put super spoilery thumbnails up on YouTube, just in case. I make an effort. I try. But it did say Day of the Doctor. It did confirm the other little breadcrumbs that I had gotten. So I can't be mad at any one particular person. It was just a whole string of little bits of information that my brain stored and then started to just automatically put together. The only reason I bring it up is because people love to hint. And I think people think that, oh, I'm not telling her any specifics. It's okay to leave hints, but you don't know the things that I already know. right? This example is not anybody's fault. It's just an example of how little things add up. So you may think that you're doing a vague hint, and it actually may contribute to a gigantic spoiler, which is what happened here. It just happened because algorithms are stupid. Anyway, rant over. Cannot be helped. So anyway, that's how that happened. But it was delightful to see him again, and delightful to see Billie Piper again, even though she wasn't really Rose. She just looked like Rose. She was the moment. And Bad Wolf. All in one. But I do like how they often framed her with David Tennant and just some of the implications of what was being said. Yeah. I loved how they wove in all the other doctors, their presence. I love the tiny little hint that we got of the future doctor, the next doctor. I'm pretty certain that there will be a regeneration soon. I liked the little shout out with the scarf. I think, is it Tom Baker's scarf? And was that Tom Baker? I'm not familiar enough with the site of the other doctors to know for sure which one. But yeah, they were able to mix so much of that in. I really loved all that. I really loved seeing the succession of doctors doing this calculation over many hundreds of years. And I also really loved this concept of the 3D painting, the Time Lord art. It's bigger on the inside. You know, just the concept of it is cool enough, but how it was used several times within the episode to accomplish what they needed to accomplish was really awesome. I really enjoyed that. And I like how they turned it from the two different titles to like, no, it's just supposed to be this one title, Gallifrey Falls No More. I'll get to all of my confused questions in a moment. But I just wanted to go over what I loved, first of all, because it was so enjoyable. I'll watch it again, probably several times, just to get all the moments of goodness and hopefully to get some clarity on what the hell happened. There was this theme of duplicity going on, you know, just multiple doctors, multiple fake people, who was real, who wasn't. They didn't do too many like switcheroos and you didn't know who was who, but there was just a general running theme of multiples happening, which was enjoyable. And I love another payoff with Queen Elizabeth. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a payoff on David Tennant's specials when he was running around in between the end of series 4 and the beginning of, was it at the beginning of the end of time, where he was called back by the Ood and he said he got married to good old Bess. So is that reference? I think it was. So I like that payoff. That was pretty funny. And then the running joke of his whole, like, but the real Elizabeth would do this and not do that and not smell like this. And it was like, yeah, that's the real Elizabeth. You are so much trouble. Sort of building up to the animosity that is seen in Shakespeare Code. It's so funny. So all of that business I really enjoyed so much. But see, now I have a bunch of questions. And I know that there is one more episode to go, so it is entirely possible that episode may clear some things up. First of all, when they started, I just wasn't sure when we were. I think Clara being in that school and, you know, seeing the scrap yard, all that stuff was just basically a callback to that. But for a moment I thought, are we still in the time stream? Because it's been a couple weeks since I have seen 713, and I was under the impression that they were not out of his time stream just yet. I know that Clara had to go in it and the Doctor went in after her, but River, the ghost of River, or the echo of River, had made such a big deal about how it was super dangerous and could implode the universe, and they weren't going to be able to get out. I was under the impression that they were still stuck in there. So I just wasn't sure like how they got out. I guess they got out, or were they still stuck? Was this whole thing within the time stream? But they were running around having fun. So I was just a little confused. And that's my confusion. My bad. And as I said, I don't know how the time paradox was allowed to exist. I guess neither did the doctors, just because we've just seen this before, particularly with the TARDIS going, no, not gonna happen. So I don't know how they can all be together without ginormous consequences. In the End of Time, the Tennant specials, the Time Lords were in a time lock. They hadn't been destroyed. And he knew that. So I'm just trying to suss it out, because so many times up to this point in the series, it is said that the Doctor basically killed everybody. They killed the Daleks, they killed the Time Lords. We're building towards that in this episode. But yet, in the End of Time, they revealed, oh no, they weren't dead, they were just in a time lock, whatever that was, that the Doctor and the Master then effectively shut down once they started to bust loose, and Timothy Dalton was there with his robes, and Tennant had a gun. So there was all of that. If that took place then, how did 10 and 11 not know that Gallifrey was in fact in a time lock? I won't lie, I'm a little lost with this time travel tale. There's a lot going on. I will probably rewatch it. I will probably want to wait until I see the last one, because maybe this next episode provides some of this clarity. But I have had this feeling many times before, particularly in finales. I won't say it's like strictly a Moffat thing. Yes, Moffat likes to spin your head round with like just detail after detail after detail. But I mean, for me, that also happened in the majority of the RTD finales as well. So we have one more episode to go, and I'm pretty damn certain that Matt Smith will regenerate into Peter Capaldi. Like that we saw Peter Capaldi. His unmistakable eyes and eyebrows. So, a little preview of what's to come. I do kind of like that they did this whole thing of, well, nobody's going to actually remember these events, because the time stream was out of sync. Because if the War Doctor, if John Hurt went off and he regenerated into, I assume, Dr. 9, Eccleston. I don't know if the very next companion that he encountered at that point was Rose. Maybe he had adventures between the time that he was Paul McGann / John Hurt and became Christopher Eccleston. But certainly he didn't remember her. Oh yeah. Super wibbly wobbly. So I, again, have this familiar feeling of, I don't know if I have just missed stuff, or if I am feeling exactly what I'm supposed to be feeling. Because I did feel that way at the end of Series 5, end of Series 6. Did I miss something? What is going on? And it turned out, no, I was asking the questions I was supposed to be asking. But I still have that feeling now. I cannot lie. But I can say that it was incredibly enjoyable. I will be watching it again, no question. It was just delightful. Always a delight to see Tennant, and particularly Tennant as the Doctor. I adore him. I adore Matt Smith as well. I really loved having the two of them there, not so much to compare differences, because I feel like when people compare Doctors, and I feel like when I compare Doctors, it's a comparison to find our differences, but I really loved seeing them together to sort of compare where they were alike. And actually, I think they were more alike than not. I mean, they each have their distinct things and their bits and their mannerisms, and, you know, just different actors approach things a little differently. But, you know, the character quirks are still there, and they still have their, like, their little own ways of playing them, but they're still the same character quirks. And it was just so enjoyable to see them playing those together. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Alright guys, I feel like I've been on an adventure and the adventure is not over just yet. I'm going to give my brain a rest. And we still have a couple of more little extra things, and then we have this final episode. Geronimo. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching this one with me. If you enjoyed the reaction, please feel free to give it a like, a share, and a subscribe. Full reactions are on Patreon. Be sure to join me for the next video. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.